Hey everyone, Carlos here from ADifficultTruth. Welcome to episode 9 of the ADifficultTruth podcast, where we discuss multiple topics every week. A quick update, since this podcast is about 30 minutes, what I've started doing is cutting the different topics, sometimes it may be 3 or 4 topics, and make them their own videos. So if you want to watch just those videos to save some time, check out the YouTube channel, or if you're watching this on YouTube, links will be in the description below. Okay, so for our first topic of today, let's talk about all this hate for Bernie Sanders, and just put a broader point to it. This is not a drama channel, so I won't get too much into it, but you've seen the recent smears and attempt to bring down Bernie Sanders. The latest one being the DNC is thinking about changing the rules for the upcoming debate, eliminating the individual donor requirements, which is absurd. And I've also heard that there's rumors about rolling back the superdelegate rule, but we'll see. As his poll numbers start to rise, the severity of the attacks increased. Some of the events that happened in the past couple of weeks went from the completely farcical stories CNN put out there trying to paint Bernie as a sexist or something that culminated in this fun little exchange.
Yesterday, and Senator Warren confirmed in a statement that in 2018, you told her that you did not believe that a woman could win the election. Why did you say that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't say it. And I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on this because this is what Donald Trump and maybe some of the media want. Anybody knows me, knows that it's incomprehensible that I would think that a woman could not be president of the United States. Go to YouTube today. There's a video of me 30 years ago talking about how a woman could become president of the United States. In 2015, I deferred, in fact, to Senator Warren. There was a movement to draft Senator Warren to run for president. And you know what? I stayed back. Senator Warren decided not to run, and I did run afterwards. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 3 million votes. How could anybody in a million years not believe that a woman could become president of the United States? And let me be very clear. If any of the women on this stage or any of the men on this stage win the nomination, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's me. But if they do, I will do everything in my power to make sure that they are elected in order to defeat the most dangerous president in the history of our country.
So Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle of it. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Well, that's embarrassing. To literally the most loathsome person to ever enter the political scene, Hillary Clinton, coming out of the woodwork to say this about Bernie in an interview for her upcoming documentary or whatnot. Quote, "He was in Congress for years. He had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done. He was a career politician." This is rich coming from, a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. If this isn't the most obvious case of projection, I don't know what is. But yeah, nobody likes Bernie Sanders. No one. He only has the most individual donors out of all the candidates. He only has the most volunteers, has the largest grassroots movement, but, nobody likes him. I just want her to go away at this point, preferably forever. I don't want her endorsing Bernie. I don't want her campaigning for Bernie. The broader point here is that the establishment is scared. The establishment is acknowledging that Bernie Sanders can actually win the nomination, and that alone terrifies them. It means that the system that props them up, that keeps them in power, is under threat, and they are doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen, up to and including allowing Donald Trump to be president another 4 years. We've seen the mask slip when large, wealthy Democratic donors were threatening to leave the Democratic Party and maybe even going Republican after Elizabeth Warren proposed her wealth tax. This is from a previous article from CNBC, quote, "You're in a box because you're a Democrat and you're thinking, I want to help the party, but she's going to hurt me. So I'm going to help President Trump," said a senior private equity executive who spoke on the condition of anonymity in fear of retribution by party leaders. The executive said this Wednesday, a day after Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced that the House would begin a formal impeachment inquiry into Trump. That tells you everything you need to know. The article also stated that large Democratic donors threatened to sit out the presidential election or even back Donald Trump if Elizabeth Warren wins the nomination. And that was just Elizabeth Warren. The establishment has no allegiance to party or country. They are only interested in protecting their own wealth and power, but for how long can we live in this system? How long do you think it will take before the people get tired of the grotesque levels of income inequality? How long before the poor, who are one medical emergency away from bankruptcy while insurance companies are making record profits, rise up? How long before the people start to focus their anger at the oil companies and other industries who are polluting this planet to the point where it is going to become uninhabitable? How much corruption in government do you think the people will continue to tolerate? What I'm worried about is this desire by the people in power to hang on to this power and wealth at all costs can potentially spill over to violence. Currently, they have us pacified with economic stress, the mainstream media, and the occasional scraps they throw at us, but I suspect that that is only going to last so much. I don't want things to get violent here while still having the means to turn things around. America is at the crossroads right now, and we the people can determine the future of this country. We can choose to regain control and implement a better system, if we want. We can choose to say enough is enough by voting and getting more active politically, supporting candidates and officials not only in the federal level, but at the local level who are willing to do the necessary things. Mark my words, as Bernie Sanders continues to surge in the polls, expect the establishment to respond, and when they do, we must react by supporting Sanders and candidates like him even harder. Right now, he has the best shot at being the Democratic nominee, even polling ahead of Joe Biden in Iowa and New Hampshire. The time for complacency is over. Make sure you're registered to vote if your state is a closed primary. If there ever has been a time, it's now. The current system is not working. It is failing us. But if we want to change it, we must first win by the current rules in place.